Podcast. My name is Annie Funderbrick, and I am your host, cemetery picnic goer, complainer, and I got this sweatshirt when I was 9. And today's guest is my mother, Christy Funderbrick, roller skate queen, Cinderella wannabe, and hashtag girl boss. And here we are. Don't do all that. Are you vibing?
I'm
Are you vibing?
I think I'm having allergies.
Shut the fuck up.
Eyes watering.
Well, it's because we have the windows rolled down.
In the cemetery.
Don't tell them that. We may or may not be in a cemetery.
And we may or may not have had a picnic.
Stop. You're being so awkward. So let's first talk about how we met. Do you want to start?
Sure. You want me to go through my whole birthing story?
Well, I mean, you don't have to tell them how you, busted it wide open, but you can,
First time I ever saw you, you were 3.2 millimeters big.
Okay.
In my tummy.
Wow.
The size of a BB.
Ooh. Comment down below if you were ever the size of a BB. Yeah, so obviously we met when I was in utero.
Yes.
When tell us about how you found out you were pregnant with me. I know about that. I can talk about that.
We had been trying, and then had a couple of unsuccessful months, and I went to the dentist, didn't know I was pregnant, and they were doing my teeth cleaning, and the hygienist said, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, "I don't know. I could be.
I don't know.
Why?" And she said, "'Cause your gums are bleeding like a pregnant woman's, 'cause they don't normally bleed. 'Cause I floss every day.
LOL.
3 times a day."
Comment down below if you floss 3 times a day.
And so I went home, told Dad, and then we ran to Walmart and bought probably 6 tests just to make sure.
Didn't you see some of his family members or something?
Yeah, his 2 cousins and aunt. And I noticed the aunt noticed the pregnancy test in the buggy, and Dad said, "Don't say anything yet, because we want to be able to announce it, if we are." And went home, and we were pregnant.
Ooh, and then 9 months later, I popped out exactly like this.
The prettiest little reddy thingy ever.
Look, we don't even have to get into that, but yes, I was called a red hot dog wiener as a little baby when I first came out.
Only one person said that, and he almost got beat up in the hospital room.
Yeah, comment down below if you're watching and you remember saying that and almost getting your ass kicked in the middle of the hospital. Let us know.
He probably doesn't realize how mad it made me.
LOL. And I'm sure he's not watching this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I don't remember any of that. Oh, let's tell him, not me going silent. Just a random little tangent. So, I saw Star Wars. My first Star Wars film was in utero. Yes, yeah. I watched The Phantom Menace.
In 99.
Yes.
Yes.
And I had eyes by then, right?
Yes.
And I had ears.
And you moved.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit.
You were moving.
I was like, this shit goes crazy. Turn it up.
In the theater, so it was loud. Yeah. That was your first Star Wars movie.
Love it. Love to see it. Comment down below if you watched a movie in utero and which one it was. I'd love to know. Because mine was Star Wars. Yeah, so, then I was born. And, I cried and I screamed. Oh, so much.
You had
so
colic.
much.
And plus you were grumpy.
not this.
But you were the sweetest baby, too. And beautiful.
But it's like a common, it's in my personal canon that I was a very fussy baby.
Yes. Oh, you're still fussy.
Look, we don't even have to we don't even have to get into all that. We don't even have to do that. Stop! Not you being like, huh.
Oh, you've been blaming me all day for your battery dying, as if that's my fault.
Okay, so here's the tea. Here's the story. So her little truck has been breaking down every day for the past week. Every time she drives it, it breaks down. My car,
3 times.
Yeah, my car has been absolutely perfectly fine. I drove it 2 days ago. This bitch gets here, holds
to
my...
visit, drives 3 hours just to do lunch in a podcast.
Yeah, and so then she grabs my keys in her hand, sits down in the driver's seat, puts the key in, and she turns it, but it doesn't turn on.
It does nothing.
And I said,
nada.
It's your fault.
Zilch.
My car has not done anything out of the ordinary. If she gets here, and what happens, it messes up.
Yeah.
So we've been just dealing with that all day long.
All day long.
But we don't have to get into that. So,
back to
movies.
Back
to talking about
when
me.
You were born.
Back to talking about me. It's also a fact in my personal canon that I liked to watch TV and movies as a child.
Even as a baby, you would turn your head to the TV to watch it.
I knew my priorities as a child. I said, people trying to talk to me, no thank you. Is that a TV on?
Let me see. What are you watching
What's
today?
going on in there? And honestly, that's me even to this day. Even to this day. And now it works out because I'm a film student. And I have to mention that at least once an episode or they'll forget.
Which is probably why you picked that.
Well, yeah, because
I've always been a fan of movies.
Because I watched the Phantom Menace in utero, and then I had to make movies when I got older. Yes. Obviously, that's the natural progression from that moment.
That's right.
But so when I was younger, I feel like I watched the same movies over and over a lot, multiple times a week. This is a fact, right? So like Peter Pan and like Robin Hood. Were there other ones that I watched like nearly daily like that?
What, Cinderella?
Just any of the Disney movies.
And then anything that came on PBS.
LOL.
Because you loved PBS.
Yeah, and I really liked like nature documentaries as a child, like any kind of nature shows. And I remember even watching ones that are meant for like adults or like older people.
But Dad
watching
always
stuff like that as a child.
Those on. And so both you and Johnny have always and know things about nature that most people don't know.
Well, because like
every history too.
Yeah, every time I tell people that I'm deathly afraid of leopard seals, their first reaction is like, "Oh, because of like Happy Feet," and I'm like, "No, I hardly even remember that movie. It's because I watched nature documentaries as a child, and it scarred me for life." They're terrifying. I can look at a picture of them and I get chills. Like my blood runs cold, ice in my veins. At
They're
just the
ugly
sight.
though.
They're so scary. They're huge and they like attack people.
They're mean.
And they're like a very important predator.
But seals are pretty.
Yeah, but leopard seals are terrifying.
They are scary.
But anyway, this episode's not about me. So we were talking about Disney a little bit. You love Disney. You're a Disney adult. Show me your little phone case. Ooh, hold on. Do a little gotta get in focus, even though it's not autofocus. Stop it! You called her out by name on the episode.
See what?
Show me your little watch band.
What?
Will she talk to him?
Oh wait, she's on silent.
Mickey Mouse.
It's 5:52. Good evening.
Yeah. When I'm at home, you can just hear that at all hours of the day.
Freaking
Minnie Mouse say,
It's 5:32.
just all day long. All day long.
That's when I can't tell what time it is on her hand.
Stop. And not me always getting roasted for not being able to tell time.
No, I really bump it all the time, too.
So you love Disney.
Love Disney.
When did that start? Do you remember, is there like a defining moment from your childhood, a core memory, if you will?
Yeah, I remember watching at 3, they re-released Lady and the Tramp, and that was one of the first movies I remember seeing in a theater. And I can remember standing there with my face in between the seats like this, just watching the movie and crying and being sad. And then Cinderella, they must have back then would just release them every so often, and my mom would take me to see them. And then I always wanted to go to Disney World, but we never could.
Yeah.
And so then Dad and I went. There
it is.
Is it over?
Yeah. Stop! Now you can be like, is it over finally? Oh, finally it's over. Oh, finally I can relax.
Now I can take this hot shirt off. So Dad and I went to Disney the summer before we decided to start trying to get pregnant with you. So in 98, in June of 98, and then we started trying like August or September of 98, and then got pregnant with you in November of 98. And that was the first trip. And then it was waiting for you and Johnny to get old enough to take
remember
you.
it.
Yeah. Because I didn't want you to be babies and be miserable and not remember it. I wanted you to have the memories. And then that's when we started going.
So what are your favorite Disney movies? LOL. Act like you don't know. Oh, let me think about it for a second.
So many. Of course, I love Cinderella.
Yes, that's your favorite princess, right?
Yeah, Cinderella. I love Little Mermaid, which was when Uncle was born. Around that time.
That was when you were like
12 or 13.
Yeah.
And all of them. I mean, Lady and the Tramp, Pocahontas, Sleeping Beauty. But you taught me to love Sleeping Beauty.
LOL.
Because
she was my favorite princess as a kid.
Yes. You were Princess Aurora.
I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I was and I still am, a very dramatic person. And as a child, oh boy, did I walk around in that little outfit all the time. Getting
Princess Aurora. And no one even knew that Sleeping Beauty's name was Aurora. Like, you would tell all the adults, and they would be like, who? And so I'd say Sleeping Beauty. And they'd say, oh, I didn't know that was her name. And you'd say, her name is also Briar Rose.
I just love that. That's another favorite part of my personal canon.
My favorite is when you would wear the Sleeping Beauty dress, and then you would go to the kitchen and you would get an apple, and you did this quite often, but the first time you did it, I was literally floored. And you got the apple and you bit it, and you laid down on the ground and you threw the apple off to the side and said, go get the camera, take a picture.
That's so
and I had to take a picture of you laid dead in the floor eating your apple. Go get the camera. Take a picture, Mom.
I've
said, okay.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. You should have forced me to become a child actor.
I know. I was scared of what would happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I would have turned out even worse than I already am. But, like, you should have forced me to be a child actor. Because I was dramatic enough
and
for
beautiful.
it.
The absolute princess. Beauty.
LOL.
Like you are now.
Shut the fuck up. But
it was sweet.
Stop. But so what? I just like got distracted by that fucking
by the
topic.
beauty.
No, I was just thinking about like I would have stayed booked and busy that little McKenna Grace child that's like in 10 million movies all the time. She's the one that like always plays the young version of character. She was in Captain Marvel. Oh, yeah. That's like young Carol. She's in everything.
Oh yeah.
She stays booked and busy for real.
That's just some crazy stuff.
Could have been her.
On.
Yeah, in Hollywood to children. We don't have to get into that.
It's not worth that.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing worth that. You had a wonderful childhood, and you got to throw apples around.
Yes.
I was your paparazzi.
Yeah.
So.
But you could have forced me to be a child actor, and we could be millionaires by now.
Yeah, and you also loved theater. You watched at 2.5 years old. Uncle was in Peter Pan at the local theater at the Springer, which is the National Theater of... Is it Georgia or is it national?
Well, I don't know.
Anyway,
because we got there's like the Fox Theater in Atlanta, so it's not like I don't know.
But you saw Peter Pan no less than 3 times, and you would sit through the entire play at 2.5, just enthralled with it. And actually, the director, the first time we saw Peter Pan, when Tinkerbell, when the light came across.
Yeah, because it was like a grouping of like twinkling lights,
just twinkly lights, yeah. And you, unprompted, in the middle of the entire theater, which was hundreds of people.
Silent,
everybody watching the play, and you said, "It's Tinkerbell!"
I just screamed
Sorry.
in the middle of it. Well, no, I'm just...
And the director came to Mingy because she was helping
Yeah.
with the play, because Uncle was in the play. Her and
Mhm.
Papa were flyers.
Yeah.
And said, "Was that your granddaughter? Could you please bring her back to every showing and see if Annie will yell, 'It's Tinkerbell!'"
Every time.
The whole audience erupted. Just erupted with laughter and
I feel
glee.
like you probably could have made me say it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like, if you had said,
But
alright, say it, then I'd say it.
You would have. But you just did it. You were so excited to see Tinkerbell come on stage.
I feel like if you had started me, like, I feel like if you had forced me to be a child actor at a very young age, I would have been able to do it. But then by the time I became aware of life, I had too much anxiety to, like, voluntarily put myself in, like, the spring or summer program.
By
or
the
like,
time you were old enough to do spring or summer programs, you were afraid to do it.
Yeah, I was way too anxious for all of that. And I was just way too anxious for all of that acting stuff. I, like, couldn't have done it. But if I'd been forced to do it as a child, I would have been able to. But we don't have to get into that. Not us talking about me the whole time. This episode is supposed to be about you. Well, I guess it's about us. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
then you're saying, when did I just fall in love with Disney?
Well, yeah.
But
we can talk about that.
after we went the very first time, it was just like, I cannot tell you what this place does to me.
Because then it wasn't just about, like, the films. It was, like, the whole atmosphere of the theme park.
Disney. Yes. And you know, Dad likes to tell about the Captain Hook and Smee, that Captain Hook kept flirting with me at Disney before you were born, and he was like, "Am I seriously fixing to have to beat up Captain Hook in the middle of Disney World?"
The actor playing that character said, "Captain Hook is gay, but oh boy, I'm not."
And I like this one.
He said, "Look at this little guest."
I wasn't but 23.
Actually,
I was still 22. Hadn't even turned 23 yet, because we went in the first week in June. But it was so much fun. And to see and of course, you know, I've always loved fantasy and I can let my guard down and enjoy childlike things.
Well, instead of, like, parents who were like, "Oh, the kids dragged us here."
Yes,
and,
why not find the joy in it?
Yeah.
And it's a lot towards adults too, you know, and just the magic's real, and it was fun. It's fun to me.
The last time we went was in 2017, and I wanted
for your graduation.
Yeah, I wanted to go back this year so bad, because this year's, like, the 50th anniversary, I think, and then Miss Rona happened last year. So now we're not gonna get to go.
And we've got to go and see the Star Wars land.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen the
Toy Story land. We haven't seen the
Pandora. We haven't seen that either.
The
that
day
was, like,
we left,
that was
the
right
next
after.
day, Pandora opened.
That was
in 2017.
Sick and twisted.
Yeah, that sucks.
Sick and twisted.
And then we have to see. Not my mind going blank.
LOL. Just stop. Not you saying, "Not my mind going blank."
And just gone. Bloop. There it goes.
It really be like that.
It was Remy's.
Oh, the Ratatouille. That's opening in
Ratatouille
October this year, I
yeah.
think.
For the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's supposed to open. So I want to see that too. But we've got so much to see.
Next time we go, we're having to stay for, like, 2 weeks and just go to Disney.
That time we did stay 2 weeks. That was so cool. In 2014. A week at Disney and a whole week at Harry Potter
No,
World.
it's only 4 days at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
4 days.
Yeah, so it was only 4 days. It's not that much. That's what we were there for.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I'd go back, especially now that I'm almost finished with books.
Don't treat that's nasty.
It's not nasty.
Yes, it is. It's melted. She's trying to drink this old, nasty milkshake. Stop.
It's still cold.
You spilled it.
It's a sweet tea milkshake.
Stop. From Milo's. Hashtag not sponsored.
No.
Milo, sponsor me, please. I'm begging.
And then they asked,
could you imagine?
do
It's
you
like
need a straw with that milkshake?
Well, I think he said, "Do you need a straw or a spoon to eat that with?" I think he asked, "Do you want a straw or do you want a spoon?" And it just came out sounding like, "Do you need something to eat this with in general?" It's like, no, for sure.
No, I'll just slurp it up.
Yeah. So, well, one thing I have written down is just a quick little topic, but I was going to introduce and say, let's talk about our least favorite things about each other, but I don't want to hear.
What? I don't have, you don't think anything negative of me? You've got some, sure.
That you're trying to pinch me.
No, I was being nice.
Choke me out, you choked Dad out at one time.
I was sleepwalking.
Oh.
You might want to go into that.
Okay, so first let me say what I was going to say.
Okay.
And then we can talk about your sleepwalking.
What you don't like about Mom after I busted my ass for you all day long today? Tell me what it is.
Also, rest in peace to any of you who are listening to this with headphones. Uncle, as you're at work doing your little whatever, I'm so sorry because it's going to destroy your eardrums.
Because Mom's loud?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Because you've been screaming the whole time that I'm over here fucking whispering.
Because my mom was a cheerleader and is extremely loud.
Uh-huh. And, like, now that the camera's off, I can't show you guys what I do, but sometimes I'll just hold my hand up and then mime turning down a dial.
So they asked me to make an announcement last week at work.
On the intercom.
On the intercom?
You were texting me about that. You were like, I just got off the intercom. I'm shaking.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My heart was beating so hard.
So
General Coburn has twice said, next time we ask Christy to do an announcement, let's not give her the microphone. I'm pretty sure if she just yells, everybody can hear her.
No, for sure.
I said, well, I couldn't tell how loud it was, and I just was being exciting.
And you were like, no, don't, please, I'm begging. I'm begging. You're going to destroy their ears.
Good morning, Bulldogs!
And look at how the audio spiked on that. Did you see how it spiked?
Yeah. Sorry.
LOL. Rest in peace, your ears. But, so here's my least favorite thing about her. When we're ordering...
Shut your mouth.
What if I was like, all right, I'm not talking the rest of the podcast. This is your thing now. Here you go.
Where do you think you got those acting vibes from?
Stop. So whenever we're like at like a fast food place or anything like that, I say, will you order for me? Because it's easier for just one person to rattle off the list and then carry on, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Am I wrong?
That's why you do it.
And I also can't stand to talk to strangers. I cannot do it. Will you stop touching all over me, weird ass? Anyway, so I'll say, oh, I want like a large fry and a chocolate shake. She'll say, okay, a large fry and a chocolate shake. And then she'll get up there, and then the cashier will be like, and what else? And she'll turn around to me and look me in the eyes and say, and what did you want? A large fry, right? And then what else? And I shit myself every time, and I have a heart attack, and I die. And I literally pass away every time she does it. And I tell her, will you please stop? And she's like, yeah, and then she says stuff like that. She's like, I try. And then she doesn't, and then she keeps doing it. So that's just...
Why don't you start ordering for
That's
me?
the burden I have to carry. Because that's so much worse
If
for
that's
everyone involved.
The worst thing that you can say about me, that's not too bad.
LOL. Anyway.
Do you know the things people complain about their mothers about?
I thought you were going to say, do you know what people say about me? Do you know the things that people complain about me?
That too, probably.
Me, literally. Anyway, so you're a little sleepwalking. Do you want to tell them about that? We talked about this. Well, we've already talked about it on the podcast before, so we'll talk about it again.
Yeah, you told Andy, didn't
Yes, I don't remember what episode it was, but like I told Andy about the little floaty creatures from Avatar.
From Avatar.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so
See him?
yeah, listen to that episode if you want to see what we're talking about.
Maybe you put a link to that episode.
A card at the top.
I don't know what it's called.
I think it's called a card, but I don't know. Who
All I
knows?
know is they point at it and say,
LOL. I was like, and you can find that right up here.
That's
and
right.
they just like point to the top.
That's right.
But the camera's off, so we can't show them.
Yeah.
But
Just imagine us pointing.
yeah. So do you want
And
to talk
imagine it being there, because I know you're not going to put it on there.
Yeah. Well, I might.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll put in the pin. I'll pin a comment that says, "Mom's sleepwalking." included in this episode.
Well, it just scared Andy, I think. So
LOL.
as it does most people.
Yeah. So I don't know if we talked about you choking out Dad that one night. So let's talk about that.
That was an accident.
All your sleepwalking episodes are accidents.
Always. I don't know. I think he's telling stories.
No, I think he's telling the truth. So I'll tell it
No.
because you were obviously asleep.
I was asleep.
Yeah. So
It's
Dad,
just a story to me.
one day I was like at home. I can't remember if it was during a semester, if it was during the
because
summer.
you were already in college.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was during the semester, if I was just at home. But
I
Dad
don't
was like, "Oh, did you hear about your mama choking me out the other night?" And I was like, "No, what?" And so then he was like, "Yeah, I was just asleep, and I felt her hand patting around the pillow, like, pop, pop, pop. And then she, like, put her hand on my chest and, like, fiddled around, and then she started choking me. And I was like, "What are you doing?"
I've never done that.
And then she giggled and rolled over, and she went back to sleep. And I was like,
Well, the giggling and rolling over or giggling and laying back down is usually what happens.
Yes.
Unless you wake me up and then I'm startled and frightened. That's always awful.
But that's so funny. Every time I think about that, that is so funny. Just imagining Dad asleep, minding his own business, and then, like, getting choked out in the middle of the night for no reason.
Do you remember the first time that you can consciously remember me sleepwalking? Because, of course, this is just part of your normal life.
I don't remember when the first time was, but I do have several, like, memories of it. So one of them is that time you, like, sat up in the middle of the bed and you were, like, walking all around the room and you turned your lamp on. And you were, like, walking around. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then you sat back down and you were like, I was in the movie theater and I couldn't find y'all. And I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you even talking about? Turn the light off." It was so dramatic.
I thought you
I couldn't find
weren't you
y'all.
in there with me the time that I was counting kids in a
Yes,
circle?
you were sitting in the middle of the bed, spinning around.
Because I have always been in education.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So you were sitting in the middle of the bed, your legs crossed, and you were, like, spinning in a circle going, 1, 2, literally sounding just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Counting kids.
Uh-huh.
I was making sure they were all there. We were on the playground. I can remember that.
Uh-huh. Do you remember the one? This is another one that I can remember. You, like, got on your hands and knees in the middle of the bed and you were, like, swinging your arm over the top of me. And I said, "What are you doing?" You said, "The closet door's open. I'm trying to shut it."
I remember you telling me.
I was
don't
like,
remember it happening.
What?
I rarely remember it happening. I just remember what y'all say afterwards.
The most
I
recent
think
time.
they lie about me.
No, it's all true. I promise. Like I said.
They say, let's make up a fun story about Mom's adventures at
No,
night.
like I said in the Untitled cast, there will never be any caps in this podcast. So I'm telling the truth, 100% when I tell you these stories.
No cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Caps obliterated. There will never be any caps. But the most recent time that I've experienced you sleepwalking, I was sitting in the living room, like, watching something on TV.
Oh, that was not long ago.
Yeah, it was, like, just, like, a month ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
But don't do that. She's putting her feet all over the fucking air conditioning.
I was not. Hot.
Subscribe to the Patreon to get her feet pics.
Ugh.
Anyway, so I was just sitting on the couch watching TV, and I think Dad and Johnny were in there. But then you, like, walked out of your bedroom, and you were, like, looking around.
But I don't look at you.
No.
I don't know.
You were looking around all over the place, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And you were like, "Oh, I think I'm sleepwalking." And then you, like, ran back to your fucking room.
Because it embarrasses me.
And you were fully asleep. You're like, "Oh, I think I'm sleepwalking."
You woke
and just
me
like
up when y'all
fucking
asked what I was
sprinted
doing.
back into your room.
And dove in the bed and covered my head up.
Yes.
This is embarrassing.
Do you remember? So I wasn't there for this, but do you remember when you were like, "Mortimer's in our bed"?
Yes.
And she wasn't.
Yeah, y'all don't think I were there.
She probably look. If we were there, she probably was. Cause
Maybe it was her that jumped on my head.
Do you remember when you were like, "There's a rat in the corner"?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't there for that either, but
do
that's
that.
a very funny story. Tell us about that one.
I don't know. I just wake up and Dad's saying, "There's no rats. Go back to sleep."
That's so funny.
Just lay back down. Everything's okay. Go back to sleep.
I wasn't like, I was in my room, I assume, for this one, but that time Dad said you were standing up in the middle of the bed scraping the stippling off the ceiling.
Yeah. I was
so funny.
I don't know what I was doing in my head,
but in reality, you were
woke up,
scraping
I was
the
standing in the
stippling
middle
off
of
the
the bed.
ceiling.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like scratching it off, like hitting it with my hands.
Oh my goodness.
Woke up the next day, had to go wash my sheets. There was stippling all in the bed.
Oh,
so ridiculous.
that's so silly.
It's just awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's my curse.
Uh-huh.
I wish I didn't do it.
LOL.
Well, it's scary too, like talking about going to Disney or whatever, like when we go on vacations.
She used to try to leave the hotel room in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, because if I'm in a surroundings that I don't know, when I guess I wake up a little bit, and then I'll sleepwalk worse when I don't know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Did that just make sense?
I wasn't even listening. I
sleepwalk worse when I don't know where I am. Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't listening. I zoned out for a second.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm glad I was that entertaining.
You're welcome. Okay, Miss Thing, talking about and trying to tell you a story while we were in the car, and you were talking about literally everything else except listening to my story.
Because I hadn't seen the murals downtown.
Okay, and you like wonder why I have ADHD.
You were talking to me about the Winter Soldier again.
Listen, we'll get into that later.
And I can't even watch it because you want to see my face.
Look.
But yet you want to tell me the whole story. We gotta break it down and analyze it and put it back together again.
Stop calling me out. This is my podcast. This is my YouTube. You come into my house thinking
This is my house,
you could call
baby.
me out. She said,
Not
look
in my house.
You said, look at me. I am the host of the podcast
That's
now.
Right. I'm your mom.
She's commandeered the podcast, guys.
As I do with most things in life.
LOL. But anyway, you're sleepwalking. Stop! Not you covering. She covered the mic to whisper in my ear. I hope y'all could hear that. But something about your sleepwalking. Like.
Oh, when we go on vacation,
yes,
we have to lock the room up like Fort Knox because I'll try to leave the room sleepwalking. Because I'm always trying to find the bathroom.
That's the thing. Is that it's either you're trying to find the bathroom, or you're in the bathroom, or you're trying to like get out of the bathroom. Like
I always need to pee.
Yeah,
it's always the problem.
Fun facts about Mom.
So I must wake up just enough.
Yeah, for your body to be like, we need to pee, and then your brain's
and
like,
there's
a rat in here.
But I don't know where the hell I am.
I need to turn on all lights, and there's also a rat and a cat and creatures. Have you?
And the Avatar floaty thing.
You've seen?
And let's kill Dad.
Yeah, let's choke him out in the middle of the bed. Could you imagine?
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Why would I do that?
You don't. Why do you do anything you do when you're sleepwalking? Anyway, so I can vividly remember one day waking up in the hotel room. It was me, Johnny, you, and Mingy, and we were in the hotel, and you were trying so hard to get out. You were trying so hard to get out, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And then Mingy was like, "Chrissy, stop!"
And then she said that she was gonna go buy a dog collar and chain me to the bed because she couldn't sleep for fear I was gonna escape the room.
You rocket launched yourself
out of the bed. I broke my arm.
Yes.
I broke my arm. Literally thought I broke my arm. I'd broken my arm. And Minky said, this is the best part. She leans over me in the floor. She's on the bed, and then she says, "Did you fall out of the bed?" And I say, "Well, hell, I guess so." I got in the floor.
I can't even talk. I'm literally crying with laughter.
Excuse me.
Because I woke up and I saw you.
I know, for some reason, you saw me fly out of the bed.
And it wasn't like, so, like, like Lauren, my cousin, has like, you know, one time we were kids, she'll spend the night and she like accidentally rolled out of the bed and it was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So like I've seen people accidentally fall out of the bed, but this night I don't know why I was awake, but I like had rolled over and I was facing their bed, and I'm just looking over there, and then I see Mom like fucking
rocket launch
out of the bed, like literally like in some invisible like some invisible crane, like from a crane game. It just like fucking picked you up and tossed you across the room because the table was like 5 feet away.
And I hit my arm and it had a huge knot on it and seriously thought I had broken it.
The table was 5 feet away, and then she somehow hit her arm. That was the craziest. That was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, because it was like you levitated and just launched out of the bed.
You're welcome that I could give you crazy things in life.
And was that the hotel that had like the rusted sink?
The one Johnny called the rusty room.
That was Bates Motel, for real.
It was the El Governor in Mexico Beach, and it's a classic hotel there.
Shout out to Mexico Beach.
The last hurricane demolished it, so all that was left was the frame, so they're rebuilding it. And Mickey actually said that we're gonna have to go stay there now that it's not a rusty room.
Yes, because like the sink was all rusted,
and the refrigerator had been through so many hurricanes. It was rusted. Johnny called it the rusty room hotel.
Look, she was trying her best. That room, she was really trying her best.
Mickey actually just recently said we need to go back and stay in the Rusty Room Hotel without Rusty Room.
And watch them build it with the rust on it. Yeah. Like how when they were filming the last song, they built the church burnt. Yeah. Like they built it burnt. They just built this room rusty.
That's right. This is a Rusty Hotel.
A core memory of mine that happened on that trip, aside from Mom rocket launching out of the bed, was like, it's like a two-parter. So I had tortilla chips, hint of lime flavor.
Yes, that was the first time you'd ever had them.
That's when I discovered my love for those chips. Those are like one of my favorite chips, aside from... Yes. Did I even say English?
You said trips?
That's one of my favorite chips. That's one of my favorite chips.
What you been drinking?
Hardly any water. And that's all I've had today. And half a milkshake. Because I got a large instead of a regular. But... Anyway, so I had hints of lime chips, and I was like, oh, these things fuck. And they're so good, you should eat them if you've never tried them before. But...
Because you've always loved them.
Yes, they're so good. And you don't even like... They're for, I guess, like salsa and like dipping, but you can just eat them plain. Because they have that flavor.
Just to eat them.
Yes, just plain. And so, I was eating them in the bed, and then I woke up the next morning, and like, my head had gotten sunburned. And
From the beach.
Yeah, and I woke up, and there was like a flake of my scalp, damn near the size of my palm, just like attached to my hair, and I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm going to be scarred for life, and I don't know how I can recover from this.
You remember that?
Yes.
But that burn had to have been several days before, or that it must have been at the first of the trip.
Look, the fucking the scalp piece was this big, this tall, look, this tall, by this wide.
Oh my goodness.
Like 3 inches long and 2 inches wide. On my scalp, and it came off, and the hairs were still in it. So it was like a lizard skin, but the hair was in it. So I had to like pull it out of my fucking hair like this.
Yeah.
And just like rake through it. Oh, I was scarred for life. And I still haven't recovered, and that's probably been 10 years since that happened to me.
That's why you don't get sunburned anymore.
Yes, that's why I don't go outside.
Well, see, that solved you from ever having...
Wrinkly skin.
Yes.
Not me grabbing this by the cap, but the cap's not on it.
Well, I thought you might want to swim.
Almost had a disaster just then, guys. Rest in peace. So, look, you already got me started talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So here's the thing about me.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. I get really, like, hooked on stuff. Like, I get I get hooked on phonics. And I get, like, hyper-focused on things. And, I'm so obsessed with them. It's all I can think about. And it's all-consuming. And it's all I can think about, talk about, dream about.
Analyze it.
Literally, like, I had a dream last night of these characters.
Did you?
Yes. It's too much. It's too much. And so...
Excuse me.
I've got some really hot takes about some of the media that I consume, but by this point, they're ice cold from Mom's point of view because it's all I talk about.
Oh.
That's all I talk about.
Yeah.
She's sitting here looking at me like, oh yeah, oh boy. And so like
I do very well with it.
Yes, most of the time she sits there and she's like, yeah, oh really? And she'll like ask a question.
I do engage.
Yeah, and you'll like ask a question even though you know the answer, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the reason I know the answers. We've already talked about it 3 other times.
Oh, at least. Like, at least 10 times I've talked to you about these things.
Yeah.
And some of them I've talked about for years, like with Twilight.
Oh.
I first watched those
Not
movies
Twilight.
when they came out. Look, I'm not gonna get into my hot takes because it's already 42 minutes and we don't have time for that today.
No, we have other topics.
If you want to hear my hot takes,
You're
comment down
supposed to
below.
do that anyway.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do I'm supposed to do a Twilight comparison series in the summer when I have time. So you'll get to hear my hot takes.
Yes.
But, or maybe not. So I'll just do that series just comparing the book to the movie. And then if they want the hot takes, then I'll give them the hot takes.
Okay.
So comment down below if you want the hot takes. But like, I've been watching
Not
Twilight.
hot cakes.
Hot cakes. Hot cakes and hot takes. The Patreon subscribers get the hot cakes.
Oh.
Subscribe to
Mickey Mouse waffles.
Yes. I have a Mickey Mouse waffle maker. Anyway, so
Because we love Disney.
yeah, I got that for Christmas. But baby's first waffle maker. But
And Grandma got it.
yeah, so I've been watching Twilight since I was like 10 or whatever, however old I was when the first Twilight movie came out. So, and then I read the books when I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
So these takes,
Because your aunt loves them.
yeah, these takes are at least damn near 10 years old, and so for some of the viewers, they might be hot. They might be hot takes to viewers, but to you, they're ice cold.
10 years old.
Ice cold.
But every time they come on, we got to revisit them.
Yes. So,
Or every summer when you decide to read them again.
well, I've only read them twice.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
So,
it feels like
so
more.
step off, back off a second, stop trying to jump down my throat. Let me tell my little story, okay?
Feels like more.
Rip. I can't help it.
They're very, very smart. Though.
Yeah. It's like icy hot, you know?
No, you're
Icy,
smart.
but they're hot. Mom said I got a big brain, guys.
You
You heard it here first, folks. My
And-
mother said I have a fat brain.
And beautiful.
Okay. Anyway,
You love that.
but like no homo. So, so like every time I'm at home and I have access to a television, I scour the channels looking for
Somehow
Twilight.
Twilight's on.
It's always on and I have to watch them. And then I watch them. And then I have the same conversations that I have every single time I watch
Every single
Twilight.
time.
Yep, and I go through it, and I'm so detailed, and I have to tell you every single thought I have, and it takes hours. And then sometimes she just fully doesn't listen. Sometimes she's like, yeah,
Well, I
okay.
did the first 100.
Yeah. Sometimes she fully doesn't listen. Sometimes she's like, okay, now I'm bored after listening to me for like 30 minutes. And then sometimes she'll be like, yeah, oh, like, wow, yeah, that
yeah.
does make sense. And like, oh, yeah. And like, she'll patronize me a little bit.
I do not.
She'll condescendingly say,
I do not.
oh, really? Oh, yeah?
I do not. I don't do it like that.
Uh-huh.
Because if I don't want to hear it, I just say,
Yeah.
okay, can we talk about something else?
Yeah. So my most common conversations that I have over and over and over have to do with Twilight, like I said, Harry Potter.
Oh, yes. But I can get with you on
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Well, now my takes might be a little bit warmer because
Yes.
now you're listening to the audiobooks, so you
Yes.
more understand what I'm saying, and you have like a new
Yeah,
perspective
appreciation for them.
for them. So we'll have
Not
all
just
these conversations
the movie Harry
again.
Potter.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole different world
Uh-huh.
of the book Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. And so that's another one. And then also like Star Trek. Like I get on Star Trek. Stop, not you sighing.
By the way, I'm on the 5th book and almost
Okay.
finished. I only have a little
Yeah.
bit left.
Mm. So, like, why'd you sigh at Star Trek?
Because I don't like Star Trek. I'm on chapter 34, and there's 38.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are about to hear us have a fist fight in this car. Stop! Don't do that! Don't do that! Somebody took a Foley audio class. Anyway.
Me.
It was me, guys.
So you know.
Not to brag, guys. But, so, I love Star Trek. And I'm working my way through the entire franchise. And so, my takes are even more ice cold to Mom, because she's never watched an episode of Star Trek in her life.
I have too.
Okay.
You make me.
And you said you don't like them. Every time I make her watch one, she's like, yeah, that's actually good. And then every time I say, hey, do you want to watch Star Trek? She says, no. She says no.
I don't love Star Trek, but
Mom,
that's because I love Star Wars. You can't do both.
Yes, you can. They're not even similar.
You're a traitor.
They're not even similar.
You either have to be a Trekkie or a Star Wars.
That's not true. Stop living in this binary world. Expand your mind. Expand your mind. Open your third eye.
I love Star Wars.
Stop. And you don't even like Star Wars that much because you're like, I don't even know who that is. And it's like,
because y'all talk about people that
and
how do you even know who they are?
And it's like Jango Fett.
No, it's not. I know who that is.
It's like Jango Fett. She's like, who?
It's like, I don't know.
Grand Moff Tarkin. And you're like, who the fuck is that?
Who?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Stop.
Who
said Grand Moff Tarkin?
No, I don't know them.
She said, I'm Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
I don't know her.
I've never heard of her. She said, Keke Palmer, I'm sorry to this man. I've never seen this man a day before in my life.
Nope.
Sorry to this man.
Maybe if I saw his picture, I'd know.
She said, if I saw this man on the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
Nope.
Sorry to this
That's
man.
me today, sitting on the street, not knowing who you're talking about.
Literally. But like...
But I know the main characters and then some side characters.
Yeah. So like, Star Wars is another one that I'll talk to you about over and over and over, and you're like, okay.
But Dad and you do that more, so I get to not have to do that.
Yeah. She's like, I've been relieved of that burden.
Because your dad's into that as much as you.
The thing about me and Dad.
And Uncle. That's awful.
But Uncle's even less, because I know he's irritated me texting him every Friday talking about, did you watch this episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Let me tell you all my hot takes. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
No, he's
not. Like, shut up,
he
bitch.
Loves it.
He's like, oh my goodness, I'm at work. Why are you texting me this? He's like, leave me alone. I'm trying to do, like, important stuff in this little lab.
He loves it.
Why are you texting me Bucky's gay? I don't care. But, like, so that's...
Uncle likes it.
So I tell Mom all this Star Trek and Star Wars stuff, but me and Dad... We have the exact same conversations about Star Wars and Star Trek, and we love it.
Oh, you
we both enjoy it so much.
I love it too. And when you're together and you can have the conversation together.
We have these same conversations,
and I don't have to be in it. I can just flit in and out, and that. Like...
Yeah. Me and my dad hanging out is either us not talking at all, and just like watching TV and not saying anything. Us watching TV and saying what we would have done differently, or us having just watched something and then having the exact same conversation about it that we've had 10 million times before, and we both love it. Yes. It's like a 45-minute car ride, and we're both talking about the exact same topic. We've spoken about... We don't actually talk about him that much. Actually.
I'm just saying.
Because we hate him.
Y'all are awful. He's not hateable.
The actor deserves rights. The character can rot in hell. I don't give a fuck. Like, that character shouldn't exist. But don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
It just adds the kids element.
We don't have time for that today.
It just adds the kids element.
Don't even say that to me in this car. Don't even, on my podcast, in my house. Don't even say that to me.
Needless to say,
no, do not say that to me.
I'm the differing voice in that.
Yes.
I mean, he's not my favorite character, but he's just a kid. He's something the kids can love.
But he wasn't necessary for the plot of that film.
He's like Oscar.
Huh?
Oscar the Grouch. He's just that one that everybody wants to talk about.
Oscar the Grouch is a central character in Sesame Street. Are you kidding? That's like
fantastic.
That's like saying fucking Eeyore shouldn't exist. Are you kidding?
Yes, he should.
That's like saying, Rabbit shouldn't be in Winnie the Pooh. Are you kidding? No. Rue? Yes, he deserves rights. I love him.
I do too.
I'm obsessed with the idea that kangaroos carry babies in their pouch, but I will throw up if I ever see one in there. That is disgusting.
No, I like it.
Because it's like, no, they're
It's not so bad until you see the.
It ignites my
crikey when you see
trypophobia.
the,
Don't even.
koala
Stop.
bear babies all
That's
over
so
their
disgusting.
stomach.
Yes, but I have trypophobia, so I can't look at a creature in a pouch. That is disgusting. But like,
So cool.
but so like me and my dad, 45-minute car ride. We're saying the exact same thing we've heard each other say
100 times.
30 times before, and we're both as into it as the first time we ever had this conversation.
As if you haven't just thought
As
about
if
it.
we've never spoken about it before. We're both given the same amount of energy to this topic.
Yes, as if you're not saying the same exact words that
Yes.
you've said over and over.
Uh-huh. And we love it.
Oh, I'm glad.
And we love it.
I'm
So,
glad.
yeah, I'm glad. And so,
I'm glad y'all have each other for
Uh-huh.
that.
and Marvel is another one that I have the same conversations about, the same ice cold takes. And now I'm balls deep in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Woo.
It's taken over my entire life. That's all I can think about.
Literally, like,
all day long.
I don't even know how you're doing schoolwork.
Yeah, that's like, it's literally all I think about. I'm either watching the show, thinking about the show, looking at memes on Instagram about the show,
wasting so much.
watching
brain time.
videos on YouTube about the show, like interviews with the actors and all that. And not you saying wasting my time. Not you saying wasting my time.
Well, you're not.
But
you're
it's-
just expanding.
It's literally all I can think about. And today,
That's why you'll be a great director
Okay.
and writer, because you think about the characters in depth.
yeah, and see, that's
unlike what they do now in most films, where it seems like, did you even think about what you had just done with this character?
Well, it's like, I know you wrote this previous film, but
Yeah.
did you even watch it?
Yeah.
Did you even watch
you
this
see
movie?
how you changed this character and now we're doing
Yes.
this?
Yes, don't even get me started.
The whole
Fucking Steve!
Steve! Needing to be talked down by
my
Natasha.
goodness. First of all, she's a lesbian. Second of all, literally that made no sense. His character was introduced in the Avengers film saying, "That's my secret. I'm always angry." Turning
Yes.
into the Hulk at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
Literally, the
Yes.
turn of a dime or whatever.
I wish the camera was working so they could see you turn into Hulk right now.
Yes, my face is red and I'm getting very
Animated.
excited about it. And so then why in Civil War... No, it was Age of Ultron. It was Age of... Why did they... That makes no sense. Anyway, we don't have enough time to get into that today.
That's true.
Yes, but that's
And I agree with you fully.
And that's a conversation we have a lot.
And we do have it a lot, and I engage in it a lot, so I'm not always like,
Don't even act like you didn't shit them at the beginning. Don't
Who?
even... Bruce and Natasha.
Well, first of all, his name is David.
No, it's not. That hasn't been his name since the 70s, since 1972.
80s. I was even born in 72, thank you. And it was the 80s, and his name is David.
Girl, no, it's
and
not.
I don't know why they decided his name is Bruce.
Girl, no, it's not. Uncle, please chime in the fucking comments and tell her that she's wrong.
No.
Please, I'm begging.
I don't know why he had a name change. I guess he just decided to go with that, but we'll go with that.
He said, I'm reinventing myself, baby. He said, I used to be Edward Norton, and now I'm Mark Ruffalo.
He's awful, though. I don't enjoy
Edward Norton?
I don't like his.
Now, don't you slander his Hulk, okay?
I don't
That was
enjoy
my
it.
introduction to the character.
No.
And this is a conversation we've had a lot.
No, of course, my Hulk is Hulk TV on the TV, which was the absolute best.
No.
And then,
They had a freaking, what's his name, painted green with a little mullet wig on.
Well, that's because that was our graphics.
He wasn't even
of the time.
tall.
He was too, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
He's tall. He is tall.
All right, Miss Thang.
He
And
is
then,
just not made with it digitally.
and then Bob Duncan was Thor in that series, right? Was that the one?
I don't really remember Thor and
Eric Allen Kramer, or whatever his name is.
yeah.
Wasn't he in that one? I know he played Thor at some point.
Yeah, I think so. And then
Anyway,
they changed his name to Bruce, and Edward Norton happened, and that's no.
Mark
Ruffalo is much better as the Hulk.
Don't even come into my house on my podcast and tell me that Edward Norton as the Hulk does not deserve rights.
It was too violent or something.
What?
And too dark.
Stop.
Like, the film was too dark.
And this is coming from the woman who said that Jar Jar Binks needed to exist. So obviously your
no,
opinions
he
are
didn't
invalid.
Need to exist. He existed for the children comedic relief.
Fuck them kids. I don't give a shit.
That was the only reason he existed, not because he
No.
so much needed to exist.
Yeah. So anyway, we have this conversation a lot, and then and now I'm just
looking at the cast.
I feel like every day I have to tell you something about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Every day.
And it's
I haven't been able to watch them because you don't want me to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not letting them watch it without me because I don't want to.
Because you want to see my face.
Yes, I want to see their reactions.
Who?
So,
Who are you saying?
I don't know if he was in this, but I know around that era he played Thor.
Oh, okay.
But so, like today.
It was on 77 to 82.
I said 70s. Bitch.
So I was 2 to 7.
So today, like I called you because I was like, "Where are you?" And then I got on, like, it lasted 30 minutes. Me telling her the difference between Steve Rogers and John Walker. And I was,
which is huge.
Yeah, and I was going through it, and I was making an Excel spreadsheet verbally, like telling her step by step every little piece of every little thing. And she said to me in such a patronizing, condescending tone, "I'm glad you think about characters and stuff like this and you really analyze it."
As detailed as you do. Well, you should.
Yeah.
But I don't. I just watch it for enjoyment.
I enjoy it. Obviously, that's why I keep talking about it.
I just don't write dissertations.
No, look, I really could write little essays
you
about
really
this.
could. You might want to think about that.
No, because I'd rather kill myself than write academically.
Well, you're going to have to.
For school. Yeah, but I'd rather die.
Well, you have to.
So I don't want to do more.
So
I actually don't. Like, in undergrad, I'm done doing all that.
Oh, just your capstone.
Yeah, which, like, isn't a paper, it's a blog post.
Which is almost here.
Anyway, so yes, I've just been talking about the same ice cold takes about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I just want to watch it.
Ice cold. Because this is the thing that I do. I describe her in detail the entire episode.
And tell me I can't watch it.
And then I give her the hot takes. And then she's like, I don't give a shit, bro.
I just want to watch it.
She's like, I do not care.
No, I do. I like it a lot.
And then you tell me, I'm glad you think about stuff like this. That in depth. And she's like, now come on now. Because every time I'm like, Bucky's literally gay. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. He literally is. And yeah, I'll include that in my video where I talk about why every single superhero is queer. But like... Don't even get me started on Sam Bucky. Literally, he's my favorite character in the MCU.
Always has been.
Yes. Look.
We all know what you do with a man with long hair.
Look. Don't even look. When he showed up as the Winter Soldier,
yes,
that little mask on, the eyeliner,
you were done.
And he was beating the shit out of everybody, choking them with that little metal arm. I said,
you were done.
I said, ooh. Me at like 12 years old. I was like, ooh.
I like that guy.
Ooh.
He's hot.
He had absolutely no business looking that good in that movie. Sebastian Stan, if you're watching, you had no business doing that. You had absolutely no business.
But Annie noticed.
Yeah. Look, the costume designers, the little director of that movie, they said, you know that Jane Lynch meme where she's like in Glee and it's like, you know, people, they really said, I'm about to create the hottest almost villain that you've ever seen in your life. That was truly iconic. But like, yeah, Bucky is my favorite character in the MCU. And so yeah, of course I'm obsessed with the show. Are you kidding? And then Sam Wilson is like
awesome,
the best character in the MCU as well. Like objectively, Sam Wilson's like, now that Steve decided to be chasing Coochie, which don't even get me started on that. But like, he's like the best character.
He's just an all around good guy. He really is.
Like he's not my number one favorite because Bucky's my number one favorite, but he's like objectively like the best character.
A good guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Bucky's always been your favorite, though, to look at and to admire.
Oh, cause his little gay ass, are you kidding me? When he showed up the first time in Captain America the First Avenger with his little hat tilted and he looked at Steve like, are you kidding me? That little gay bitch. Like, I don't know if they intended for him to be gay, but oh, he was. And oh, he is. I'm sorry for the wind. But like...
And it feels good.
Mm-hmm. But literally, that was so iconic. Not you being like, don't even get started on all this bullshit, please. No. I'm begging. We've already had to talk about this today.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You were looking at me like,
you
oh,
even like
stop.
him with his hair short, so they've done something. Because you love him.
Who? Bucky? Well, he's not as attractive with short hair.
Yeah.
No offense. But like, anybody with long hair, any man with long hair automatically is better looking. Objectively is better looking.
Always has been.
Me as a child having a crush on War and Peace in Sky High.
He was a really good looking little guy.
Are you kidding? If y'all watch Sky High, please comment down below if you also had a crush on War and Peace. That's why I was obsessed with Bucky. Because it's the same. It's the same character. They're the same character. A gay little bitch with anger issues. Are you kidding me?
Who's the actor?
I don't remember what his name is.
I don't either. At all.
That character. That movie, core memory for sure.
Yeah, you loved it.
That was so good. But I saw this meme that was like, if I went to Sky High and I got assigned sidekick, I'd just take my own life. That's so funny to me. Kurt Russell was in that, right? He played the dad?
Yeah.
Iconic. And
Which,
then
his son.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead or whatever, I think.
And then his son is...
Yeah, Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
Playing John Walker. Fuck
Stephen Andrew Strait. Is his name.
Okay. Comment down below if you're watching.
Yeah. That's him now.
Well, I don't know if it's now. War and Peace, bitch. Literally.
He's so emo.
I am so obsessed with him. Look. That
was a good movie.
No, it was like, that was so iconic. That character too, are you kidding me? He was like, everybody, we've had this conversation before too. He's like, everybody thinks I'm this bad guy because my parents are bad guys, so now I'm gonna fist fight the fucking son of the most popular superhero of all time, but I'm really just trying to eat my little whatever, like at that fucking restaurant when he was talking to that redhead bitch with the plant powers. He's like, I'm just working at my little restaurant job and I'm lighting this little candle on fire with my little fingies. Don't even worry about it. And I was like, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I die for him. Me as like a 6-year-old being like, this is it. It's all over.
This is my guy.
For sure. Comment down below if you're watching.
That'd be so cool.
Could you imagine?
Redacted.
Don't say that.
Stop. Me deleting the channel.
Redacted.
Don't say that.
And all 35 of my subscribers are like, what happened? And then it's like, oh, Stephen Strait or whatever commented on the video. So
redacted.
Stop it.
Ooh, that's the thing. Let's get into this. So on Instagram, I see like a lot of pictures of like people when meet and greets like were still a thing, like meeting like at conventions and stuff, meeting like actors and stuff like that. Every time I see one of those pictures, it gives me anxiety because I'm like, I would rather
redacted
than have to do that.
That would be hard.
I would never want to go meet someone like that.
Hard.
Like, oh, that just like, yeah, I like, you know, let's say I like this actor's work. That'd be cool to meet this person and talk to them for like 30 seconds or however much I get for my like $20 ticket or whatever. But I'd rather die than have to speak to them. You know what I mean?
I would. Oh, I thought you meant if you were the actor.
No, like if I was, I would never go to meet someone like that.
We gave Uncle and Delenn Walker Stalker Con tickets, and they met some of them.
I don't know. I'd rather die than have to do that. That sounds very awful. And every time I see pictures of somebody like with an actor or whatever, I'm like, ugh. I could never.
You talked to Herschel?
No, but see, the thing is that...
And It was
No.
really nice.
No, because I was with Holt, and he had the ticket, and then the guy was like, y'all can go to the little Starbucks, because we were in Sonoya, and the Starbucks is underground, and that's where he was doing a meet and greet. And so
What's his real name?
Scott Wilson, I think?
Scott Wilson, yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
But, like...
Herschel from The Walking Dead.
Yes, so he was doing a meet and greet in Sonoya, which, if you don't know, is where they film The Walking Dead, like, most of it. And so, it was down under the ground in the Starbucks. And so, the guy was like, oh, if you don't have a ticket, you can't meet him, but you can go get a drink, which was 6 feet from where he was standing doing a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And so, we just, like, got a little Frappuccino
Which
or
y'all
whatever.
were minors, too, so we were able to go with y'all.
Because I was like 16, I think. He was like
Probably.
15, probably.
Uh-huh.
But, did I have glasses then? Because that would have been when I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
I think I had glasses. I don't remember.
I think so, too.
I don't remember the pictures. But, so, I had drawn a picture of Herschel, like, decapitated his head when it was turning into a zombie. And I was like, here, Holt, give this to him and, like, tell him it was from me.
Yeah.
And so, he was like... He handed it to him, and he was like, oh, like, you, and pointed at me. He was like, oh, you want to come take a picture? And I was like, yeah.
And then
okay.
he wanted to talk to
And then I was like, can we take a selfie? And he was like, yeah. And so, like, we took a little selfie, and we talked about it. And I was like, oh, it's for you to keep, like, because he was like, do I need to sign this? Like, no, you can, like, keep it. It's for you.
He was saying,
like,
nobody ever gives me
He was like, oh, thank you. And then he, like, put it with his, like, little backpack or whatever.
And he said, nobody ever gives me things.
Yeah.
They just want things from me.
Every time I give somebody a gift like that, they're like, oh, thank you. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Because everybody's all
like,
about them instead of
but like
gifting.
And so
he loved it.
But I can't.
You should put a picture on the podcast.
Yeah,
of it.
on the thumbnail.
Yes.
But like, I can't imagine being Holt.
Yeah.
And buying that ticket and then going to talk to him and meet him.
Yeah.
I'd rather
redacted.
Well, he didn't talk very much.
No.
I think.
But, like, I see pictures of, like, I'm seeing mostly, like, Marvel actors right now because that's what my Instagram Explore page has because I keep looking at Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. But, like, I see pictures of people with, like, Chris Hemsworth and he's, like, holding, like, a pride flag and they're posing and I'm like, I'd rather
redacted
than have to go up to someone and say, will you hold this for a picture and can we take a picture?
Oh, I'll go take a picture
Absolutely
with Chris
not.
Hemsworth any day
Stop.
you want to.
That's her man's. That's her man's.
Any day you want to go take a picture with Chris Hemsworth, I am there.
And, like, I saw
pretty.
one of, like, Sebastian Stan wearing this, like, pink cowboy hat that said, like, birthday girl or something. And I was like, I'd rather... how... If you're a person who has been to a meet and greet like that, please describe in detail the experience down below in the comments. Because I just can't wrap my mind around going up to somebody, first of all, being comfortable enough to be in the general vicinity of someone, period. Going up to talking to them, trying to have a conversation, and then saying, will you hold this prop for a photo? Taking a photo, and then leaving. Like, I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't understand it. And that sounds so terrifying.
It's funny.
And, like, if I ever saw...
So what are you going to do when you make it big?
I'm gonna be so... Oh my goodness, people are gonna be there. I met Annie Funderburk and they were so weird. They just sat there staring at me and didn't say anything. And they had on this weird little outfit.
Just let me go. I'll talk to them.
Uh-huh. I'll just be sitting there. And then I know somebody's gonna be like, could you imagine if somebody's like, I love your film. And I'm like, ha.
Thanks.
And I'm just like, can I please eat my sandwich? I'm terrified.
I imagine everyone
I'm so
feels
frightened.
that way, though.
But the thing about, I feel like being a director, you have a different level of, like, almost anonymity that actors do not have.
That's right.
Because, like, how many times have you personally watched a director on a press junket talking about what kind of underwear a character wears?
Well, because
directors do go on press tours, but it's not the same level of, like...
And I pretty much only
fanaticism.
know the directors that were actors.
Yeah.
And then the directors you've told me about.
But then there's
Other
some...
than that, I don't even know who they really are.
I was talking to Celine one day, and she was like... I can't remember who she said. I think she was like... she was like, well, when you're a director, because I was like, I don't know how I would handle it if, like, strangers wanted to talk to me. She's like, well, they probably wouldn't know what you look like. Like, Steven Spielberg, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know what he looks like. I wouldn't know what he looked like if I saw him on the street.
I know what.
I was like, LOL. That's so funny. Like, Steven Spielberg is, like, one of the best-known directors.
Yeah,
No,
directors, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, I don't even know what he looks like. So, like, I do take comfort in that.
Yeah.
But, like, if I ever saw, like, a celebrity out in public, I wouldn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would do not a single thing.
Would you yell at them across the chalet and make sure that they know that you're
Barry?
Hey, Barry!
Yeah, we talked about this on the Untitled cast. But, like, when they met Barry Bostwick and they were screaming at him.
Dad, hey, Barry! He was so mad. I thought
He was like, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Could kill. He would have killed your dad.
10 feet tall Barry Bostwick about to, like, beat him to death with a snowboard.
For telling that he was there.
Yes. But, like, if I saw, like, literally anyone out in public, I'd just be like, I'd, like, stare at them, and then I'd turn around, and then I'd...
Redacted.
If they saw me looking at them. I would never speak to anyone.
Well,
ever.
When I saw Keanu Reeves, I said hey to him, but I was a teenager, so...
I love him. Well, like, if I was at McDonald's in the parking lot, and I saw fucking Keanu MF Reeves walk out of the parking lot,
it was exciting.
I'd be like, hey!
I did. We all did. And he just waved at us and got in his car.
He left you in Point Break.
Yeah. He got in his car and left.
Keanu.
He waved at us and got his car. Now, Bocephus, he waved at us and talked, but then, Slash asked me to come to the party.
Yes. Oh,
and
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I was 14.
Dear viewer, if you're listening to this, if Slash stopped you in a hotel and said, do you want to come up to our room later for the party?
Come to my room for the party.
I would have gone.
Not at 14.
I would have.
I was scared to death.
Absolutely. Mom.
I was like, you creepy old man.
Could you imagine that would be the coolest thing anyone's ever heard.
I may be dead from a venereal disease by now if I had done that.
Could you imagine how cool it would have been for you to come on this podcast and say I partied with fucking Slash?
Well, I got asked to party by Slash. Does that count for anything?
Well, that's because even though, you were a minor, you were still a baddie bee, Barbie Tings, bang a body bee.
I was.
Rip. We don't condone, like, adults going after minors in this house.
No,
but
he probably had no clue I was only 14.
No.
So I didn't look 14.
But, like...
And plus I was
so
yelling
iconic.
at him and saying, hey, and then hugged him, so...
That's so funny. Is Scott Wilson the only, like, celebrity that I've ever met? I think so.
If you don't count the Springer celebrities.
Yeah. Local celebrities.
We've met all those.
But, like...
That I can remember.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever met, I think. But, like, I can't imagine seeing, like, I don't know, who's an actor?
I don't know.
Me forgetting every single actor I've ever been aware of.
Chris Hemsworth.
Sure. Okay, so if I was out and about and I saw Chris Hemsworth in a fucking coffee shop, I would absolutely never go up to him. I would never.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I would do less now than I probably ever would. Johnny and I saw...
So awkward. Could you imagine?
Shrimp Basket in Auburn saw who we thought was one of the baseball players. I can't think of his... A-Rod. But the whole time we kept going, is that him? I don't know.
So
is that him? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And ultimately we decided it wasn't because this person smoked and Johnny decided that A-Rod would not smoke. If you're a baseball player,
exactly. I almost could have met Bill Skarsgård.
Yes.
Could you imagine? I wish.
We saw Miley Cyrus too, just like Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, so when I saw Bill Skarsgård, it was, if you are a fucking person who knows me and have talked to me at all, you know that they filmed The Devil All the Time in Montevallo, like a part of that, literally a block from campus. And so we saw Bill Skarsgård just like walking across the road fucking 10 million times, trying to get the shot right. So cool. Dressing his little uniform or whatever.
Was he as big as he seems?
Well, he was like far away.
Yeah.
It was like halfway down the road, so like I couldn't tell, but I was like, is that Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah. Do you remember when we saw Miley Cyrus?
Yes.
And then her bodyguard came and got onto us.
Yes, he was like, you guys can't
too close.
That was so funny.
And we tried to hide behind the driftwood.
Well, and the sand dunes, and there's like other people down there too. We were all like, who?
But we saw her filming the last song.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're supposed to go to the restaurant that her and Nick Jonas performed at.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, when the crowd is really big, fight the crowd.
Yeah.
Nick Jonas and Miley Cyrus might be singing for you.
If you're in a city that you know people are filming in and there's a crowd,
go there.
Absolutely go there.
Yeah. Don't say, that's too crowded, we're hungry.
Do you remember the time we were in Sonoya and the bed and breakfast was absolutely popping, and then we found out later that it was the guy who played, what's his name? The one that like almost shot Rick at the beginning in the first season. That man, he's got like one earring in real life.
Shane is...
No, he's the one that he got on Fear the Walking Dead later. The man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. He's still on Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes, but I don't... The one with the staff.
What's
I
his
don't remember
name?
his character's name.
Oh my goodness. I can't
Rip. He was my favorite character too. Morgan?
Morgan. Yeah, Morgan.
So the actor who played Morgan was staying there.
And that's why it was so crowded.
So we were like, oh, should we like go up there and see what it is? And we were like, no, we've got to drive back an hour home.
Let's just go on.
Could you imagine if we walked in and we were like, can we get a room? Except actually not, we're just here to see him. And like we just like look at him for a second.
Yes.
Comment down below if you would ever approach a celebrity in person, like in real life. Yeah. I absolutely would not.
It depends on the setting, because I kind of feel sorry for them that people don't think that they have, like, you should be able to enjoy your dinner, you should be signing out. I feel sorry for people because of that. But, like, if they were just on the street, I don't know, I probably would just say hi. I have twofold. One, I don't want to disrupt your day that you're doing, and two, I don't want you to think I think you're some kind of god or something, because you're not that. I mean, you're just an actor.
You're not that cool.
Yeah, you're just an actor, you know?
Like I was talking about in the Aunt Cool Cast Part 2, I was like, they're just glorified Walmart employees.
Yeah, I mean,
which like no, there's like a craft to it that's different from like a lower level job. But like I don't know, I feel like if a celebrity caught me staring at them, I would smile.
I would say hi.
But I don't think I'd say anything.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't want,
especially if they didn't want people to know who they were.
Yes, and I would never be like, hey, can I like get a selfie with you? Can I get an autograph? I don't give a fuck. I'd rather at most be like, I like your shoes. Yeah, thanks, and then like walk away.
Or I really enjoyed your character in whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd do that, because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, on one hand, whenever I get famous, I would like for a fan to come up to me and be like, I really enjoyed this film, and like talk to me about what they liked about it, and like even like what they didn't like about it or whatever. But I don't know, I would just feel weird going up to somebody doing that and being like, I don't want to take time out of your day to talk about this job that you were just chasing a paycheck for.
I would do like, your baby's beautiful. Like if I saw Bindi Irwin, I would be like, she looks just like you.
At most, I feel like I'd be like, hey, nice fucking jacket or whatever, and then I'd be like, I love your role, and just like run away, and they'd be like, what did that person even say to me? What?
Okay, weirdo.
I met James Deweese. I remember that.
That's
a celebrity I met. People are gonna be like, who?
He was nice.
Y'all listen to
he
my
gave you Skittles.
No, Starburst.
Oh, it was Starburst.
It's because I was like, I've never had this before. He said, yeah, get into that, and just like slapped some into my hand. I was like, thanks.
Gave you a bunch of candy.
Yes, it was so funny.
Yeah, he did. He shared his candy. I saw those pictures just recently.
That's funny. They showed up on mine too. On Snapchat.
I was looking for I think it was when I was looking for headshots, and I found the pictures of you with him.
Could you imagine if I sent that? I was like, hey, and it's like, who the fuck is that man beside you?
You look good in those pictures, though.
Oh, thanks.
It was. He was nice, though.
Yeah.
He really was. He just acted like a normal person.
Yeah. But remember when he was like, I don't even get paid for this. Like, the only money I get from this is when y'all buy my merch. And I was like, well, shit.
We gotta go buy merch.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Well, he said that to us, like, personally. He's like, I don't get paid for this tour. And I was like, girl, why?
Yeah, because...
Why?
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad. Oh, did you see the thing about Music Midtown?
Yes,
My
that My
Chemical-
Chemical Romance is not.
They're not going to perform.
But they're postponing it to 2022.
And they said if you had tickets, that you could postpone your tickets.
I'm
out.
like, damn, maybe we should like buy some little tickets.
I know.
But kid, that was so sick. That like My Chemical Romance was like, we're back
That was cool.
from the grave, and then Corona happened.
Oh my goodness. Just ruined
The
everything.
pandemic.
Yes.
The pandemic corona. But like, I don't know. But so here's the thing: I would never approach like an actor like in public. However, and be like, you remember when I was talking about on that podcast, I was like, people are like, choke me for a photo, Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's crazy.
I'm not saying that I
Redacted.
I'm not saying I do that, but I'm also not saying that I wouldn't do that.
Just saying.
Hey, look, hey, look, hey. If I was like a little extra,
You gonna ask him
In,
to
like,
put his
a
wig
movie?
back on?
yeah, I'd be like,
Redacted.
I would not say that. Absolutely not. I'm not that crazy. But tell me that wouldn't be an iconic photo.
That would be an iconic photo.
Would it not?
It would.
So like any type of thing
I might
to
say,
be like,
can I hold your arm?
pretend like you're holding me up,
Yeah.
and I'll Photoshop the stool out from under me so it
You've
doesn't
seen
like
all the celebrities at Disney World. You've seen almost every
Yeah.
princess. And you even saw Peter Pan and Pocahontas.
Yes.
And you got Pocahontas to break character.
LOL. For him. Don't get you. She might get her fired.
Oh.
I don't think she probably worked there. That was a long time ago. But like
That was
stuff
when
like
you
that.
were crushing on Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock still.
LOL. Not.
That was your
I'm
phone
literally
case.
him. That's literally me. Stop. That whole
the
character.
BBC Sherlock.
Yes. That looks.
So good.
We don't even have to get into it. Well, the first like season was, and it got worse and worse. We don't have to get into that. The same instance of like, did y'all even watch this show? Like, I know you wrote it, but did you even like?
But was it the same writer? Sometimes you have to
Yes.
wonder that.
It was.
But sometimes it doesn't feel like it was.
It was. Well, sometimes they just. I don't even know what happened.
They think, oh, these people won't remember.
Yeah. And there's people like me who's like,
Who go back and rewatch it too.
yes,
to watch
and I'm
it.
like piecing every little bit together.
Like we rewatched the movie before to
Yeah.
watch the next movie, no matter what the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to be a second one or a whatever.
Like a sequel or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I was gonna say something, I forgot what it was. Oh, like stuff like that, like a set, like a photo on set of an actor doing something that the character would do. That'd be a cool photo.
Yeah. that
So
would be.
like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like an example.
Well, a lot of people do that too. When they see people, they'll do whatever it is that
But
they're known for in the movie. Or
yeah, but I feel like if you were like in a restaurant, that's weird.
yeah,
But if you somehow
they do
found
that a lot.
found your way on the set, then that's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah.
Because if like the actors in
I kind of think if you're in a restaurant, you probably should just leave them alone
Because,
anyway.
well, it's like that picture of George Lucas holding Grogu.
Yeah.
You're telling me you wouldn't try to hold that baby for a picture?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Definitely.
set photos, I feel like if I was directing something that I knew was gonna be like a piece to a bigger franchise that had like iconic characters in it, like I would take a photo with like one of them probably.
Yeah.
And then like I'd put it on Instagram to promote whatever the
Yeah,
project
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But like to do that same
Definitely.
thing but at a meet and greet as a normal person,
Yeah.
that's weird.
You're just not gonna do meet and greets.
Well, I wouldn't as a director. I wouldn't have to. Could you imagine? Like I've seen pictures of
No.
Avril Lavigne standing like 2 feet away from people at her meet and greets. That's how I'd be if I was an actor.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Not now. Who's she dating?
Well, there's rumors that she's dating Maud's son.
Oh, that's right. That is just doesn't seem to go
Stop!
together.
I'm obsessed with Maud's son. I love him.
I know you do.
I love Maud's son. Don't even get me started. What? What? Stop.
I think he's crazy.
I love him.
I still think he's crazy.
Who gives a shit?
Without drugs, much less with them.
Listen, he was going like a little bit sober for a minute. I don't know
Good.
if
Maybe
he
that's
still
why
is.
they're together.
LOL. She got really into, like, Jesus recently.
I know. So maybe she's helping him.
I don't know. But,
Let's hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Not the other way around.
LOL.
What else are we going to talk about?
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I've had an allergy attack. My eye's itching.
Stop. I don't know. Stop.
How about how very much I love you?
Oh my goodness.
And
Stop
how
being
proud I
weird.
am.
Stop being weird. I'm gonna cut that out.
No, you won't. You never cut out things you say you're going to cut out.
Listen, not to ruin the whole illusion, but sometimes I do be chopping these bitches up when the camera turns off.
Well,
I do
good.
be cutting out some stuff.
Good. That's because you're a mean editor.
Why is it good? Huh?
You're good at editing.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. Look, talking about me being a famous director, these little things are gonna kind of bite me on the ass. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Cause like, could you imagine? It's like,
Well, if you don't stop being a potty mouth on them, you certainly
no,
will.
that's fine. In like 30 years, I've casted Stephen Strait in a film, and then they're like,
and then they're gonna be like,
they like pull up.
Annie has the hots for you.
Well, Annie has a 6-year-old liked your character in Sky High. You know what I mean? That'd be so cringe.
Redacted.
Live on tape. On that
Stop
press junket.
saying that.
Why? It's funny.
Stop.
Yes, it is. Me saying stuff like that is why my videos don't get promoted to other people. This is why I get like 10 views per episode, because I say shit like that. But could you imagine? I know it's going to happen. I know it is.
Good. I hope it does. Not the
Redacted.
part. The
people
meeting
bringing
him.
up my receipts.
To meet him.
No, that was just an example. Because I
That's
haven't,
what's gonna happen. He's gonna be in one of your films.
well, I haven't seen any of his other stuff other than that.
Does he do anything else?
I think, I don't know.
I don't know anything about him.
But like, I just know that at some point they're gonna dig up some receipts talking about, so your new film deals a lot with like substance abuse. Here's every time you said, "Are you on crack?" in your
podcast.
in your podcast that you did 30 years ago. Could you imagine?
We don't have any
Like, I
videos
know
from
it's-
when we were young.
I know that's gonna happen. I know it is.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. This is me going on record saying, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
I mean, it's just a saying.
Pull up these little
It's
videos.
just a saying you've lost your mind. That's all that means.
Well, not even like that. That's just the example I thought of. So it's like, you referenced Point Break in one of your podcast videos. Me, when I reboot Point Break, they're gonna be like, so you talked about this on, and they like,
Yes.
they pull up the exact video,
yeah.
and it's like,
the exact
April,
timestamp.
whatever, at whatever PM, you posted this podcast video in which you referenced Point Break 4 times, and I'll be like,
It's because my mom saw it.
so don't worry about it.
When
Yes.
She was a little 17-year-old teenager.
That's so iconic. I love Keanu Reeves. And
Me
that's,
too.
I'm so obsessed.
Seems like a good person. If he's not, I'll be so disappointed.
LOL.
So I heard he gives most of his.
Well, for tax write-offs, you gotta.
Oh, well, yeah.
You
but
gotta.
he also says there's no purpose in having that much money.
And that's tea. And that's tea.
I heard him say that anyway, which
Yeah.
I thought was super cool because
Yeah.
most of them seem so filled with greed.
LOL. But like,
There's another fire truck.
last
Montevallo has been
night there was
booming.
like, they got somebody. They like got
At your
somebody.
dorm?
No, not in the dorm, but like in the city. They like drove past it and they drove back, and I was like,
Ooh,
oh.
they got a lot of action going on today.
Is it a full moon? Where's the full moon?
I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening to all the vehicles.
Yes. Let's Google April full moon.
Maybe that's it.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed the podcast.
Okay. Is that you saying I'm tired of doing this? Wrap it up. She said, wrap it up.
I thought you were wrapping it up.
Okay, well, I guess we will now. Damn. At the beginning, you said roll sound, roll tape. Come on. Come on. Put tape in the fucking camera. Let's go. I'm ready. Come on.
I gotta go tinkle.
Let's get this show on the road. I'm leaving that in. You know that, right? You know we're going to have video evidence. Well, audio evidence.
I do.
If you say I gotta tinkle. But, like, yeah, we literally started this evening. All right. Are you ready?
Let's
All right,
go.
come on. Let's do
Let's
this thing. Stop! Destroying their ears He's just gonna
That
sit.
was for you, Uncle.
No, listen to his little his little office, whatever the fuck. TBT that time, he was like, back in that fucking building with the 2 mics. Each one of y'all sitting on my shoulder, whispering in my fucking ear all day. That was so
funny.
Because, well, he didn't say it like that, but he was like,
That's why he insinuated it.
he was like, I hate it when you have those 2 mics.
No.
Because then it's just like one of you talking in one of my ears at the same time.
The other ear.
So then now every time we're back in there, I'm like, we're sitting on your little shoulders, whispering in your little ears.
Maybe you can do a real live one when he comes home.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Do an in-person episode.
Yes, he does really exist. See?
Stop. These people are fake, and I just...
I just project them up there.
It's a deep fake, and they're actors.
They're not really my uncle and aunt.
Yes. Could you imagine?
Redacted.
This video is going to get fucking reported.
Okay.
Demonetized. Because every time I'm like, I would kill myself.
I'll say that.
I'll just put redacted
You just say
over
that
everything.
as kidding.
Yeah, I'll just put redact over it. I'll just say I'd redacted.
Yeah, it scare me to death like you
Let's-
did last time.
That's the last thing to wrap it up, because I don't have a secret topic because today was so stressful.
Oh my goodness.
And dramatic. We don't have a secret topic today, but let's get into that.
That you're redacted?
Yes.
That you not made me jump out of the bed?
For Redacted Cast. The episode's called Redacted Cast.
But I wasn't expecting it
I
the first
literally
time.
sent you a video on Snapchat of it saying redacted. Like Siri going, redacted. And then you had the audacity to
I just
jump.
wasn't expecting.
Take us through the entire situation.
Well,
like,
I was
tell us
laying
about
in
it.
bed listening to the podcast,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't happen for a very long time, so I forgot about it, that it was going to say that, and then all of a sudden it was just like, blah, 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 blah.
Redacted.
And I about fell out of the bed. I jumped. I was like, good grief.
That's so funny. It'd be like that, honestly.
Then I got cracked up because it scared me.
Uh-huh. I don't know. I literally don't understand why that scared you.
Probably because I was laying there
About
listening
to go
to
to
it.
sleep.
About to go to sleep, yeah. Quiet,
Uh-huh.
dark.
That's so funny.
Because the video had went off, so it was just laying there.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh. It's just, you go silent. You know.
Redacted.
Redacted.
And I think it was more like,
No.
redacted.
No. It was
That
higher.
scared me to death.
It was not that low pitched. But this one, I'm gonna have to listen to this whole episode and have to go over it with a fine tooth comb trying to find it every time I said I'm gonna.
Redacted.
Or I would.
Yeah, you should. And you should stop saying that.
Why? She gets mad at me every time I say that. She's like, no, don't say that. Because I think she thinks I'm being serious.
There are people who are serious.
Stop.
I don't think you're one of them, but I don't think you should say it.
Could you imagine if I was
Stop.
like, my baby's not. I don't have any tissues because you took them all from me. I found one and it has dirt on it.
Yuck. Gross.
Use the corner. The one that doesn't have dirt on it from my feet. Ew, what are you doing? No. Get off me.
It's the Mortimer.
My Mortimer hair on my mouth.
Yeah.
Those are like all in my mask. It's very nasty.
Blech.
Anyway, is that all you
Cut
want
that
to
out too.
Why? I'm not going to. Why? What part?
Bye.
Stop.
Love you.
No, be quiet. Is that all you want to talk about?
That's all I got.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun.
Would you be on the podcast again?
Yes.
Well,
thank
too
you.
bad we're not going to have you back.
Too much. I made you laugh. You had tears. Nobody else has made you do that.
Bless the 4 people who are going to watch this because it was so, like, chaotic.
It's just life with mom.
Yeah.
Mom's in the room.
Yeah, and this I don't even think I said this. The first time I asked her to be on the podcast, she said no because she was like nervous. She said it in that exact tone,
Still
in that
nervous.
exact way. Well, you stopped being less weird after the camera turned off. 'Cause you were.
That's so much easier.
I was like, don't look at them like that. So you're like, I will never look at the camera ever again this entire time. I can only look in your eyes. And then I was like, oh, I think it made it worse. But you were like, oh, I don't want to be on it. It's scary. Like, I'm nervous.
What would I
As
say?
if anyone watches this. As if there's any viewers.
No.
Watch this one blow up. Why?
It will blow up because I'm on it.
Stop. My next goal is to get Johnny on it.
Oh.
Miss Thang talking about, ooh, when I was a baby, I'd stop talking as soon as people turned the camera on.
Yes. He'd have to not know he was on it.
He'd be like, why is your camera on the bar? And I'd be like, no reason. And like, I like have this fucking microphone in his face. He's like, what are you doing?
doing?
What are you doing? Stop. And he like pushed my hand away.
Stop being weird.
And then accidentally shoved me to the ground.
Yeah.
Because he's so much bigger than I am. So why are you so weird?
Exactly.
Why do you say stuff like that? Why do you act like that?
Why are you breathing?
Because that's how he talks to me. This isn't even a Johnny cast. So like, we'll talk about this again when I can finally get him on there. But half the things he says to me is like, why do you say stuff like that?
What are you doing?
Why are you doing that? Like, I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It just seemed like the thing to do. It's like sometimes I'll say something random and he'll be like, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
One of my favorite instances was, we've got a bonus little extra thing, even though we said we were done. We've got this duck that lives in our lake. That's name is Richard.
He's a wild duck.
Yeah, so he lives in our lake. He comes back every year and his name's Richard.
Migrates back to home.
Yeah. And so he got this little girlfriend. No, it wasn't his girlfriend. It was a different duck. He was like, there's like another duck in there. And I said, is it Richard? And he said, no. And I said, well, who is it? And he said, I don't know. How am I supposed to know who it is? Like, mad. Like, outraged. And I was like, of all the things that
to get pissy about.
to be mad about was me asking, who is it? How am I supposed to know who it is?
Well, you know who Richard is, don't you?
Yes. And it's not even like, I don't know, it's like I just see an animal and I like know what their name is. Like, we saw Richard and I said his name is Richard.
Yes.
So like, you don't like who was it?
Who is that? Is it?
Who is it? Come up with something. Figure out what his name is. And
You've
say
always
it.
named everything.
Yeah.
You never let him name anything.
Yes, he didn't have any practice. But I feel
he
like
did name Duke.
yeah, which I wanted him to be named either Bruce or Brutus, but I think Bruce, that I would like that better. But let's talk about that real quick. So me naming everything as a child.
Always have.
Yes. I named Johnny.
Yes.
I named
all four of your grandparents.
Yes. I've named all of the pets we've ever had except for Hank and Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else like that? Like, I'd name my dolls and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
I named myself as a 1.5-year-old. I changed
Yes.
my name to Annie.
Yes.
But, yeah, I just name everything. And so when I see an animal, it's not like I'm choosing. Yeah, I named Uncle. Just call him Uncle.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, whenever I see an animal, it's not like I'm choosing a name for them. It's like their name is being
chosen.
revealed to me. It's like, I saw a listener and I was like, his name's Ian. I was like, that's a little listener. His name is Ian. Like, I remember that vividly. But, like, and that's how Richard was named Richard. But, like, just
my
like,
favorite is Rhyme, though.
yes.
Our turtle that you got at 1.5.
Uh-huh.
Mingy and Papa brought him back from Florida. And I said, what's his name? And you said, Rhyme. And I said, Ryan? And you said, no, Rhyme. You know, Barney says, let's sing a turtle rhyme. He's a turtle rhyme.
That's so funny.
And his name was Rhyme. Rhyme.
Yes. Like, that's so funny. Like, I wish I could remember that to, like, dissect my child mind and be like, did I think turtles were named Rhyme?
Yes, because Barney said, let's sing a turtle rhyme.
That's so funny.
I just wish I could remember the turtle rhyme now.
Yes. I mean, we could probably look it up.
But
like
his
Barney
name was
Turtle
Rhyme. And he lived for 13 years.
Mhm. I was talking about that, like, yesterday. They were like, Claudia wants to get a turtle. And I was like, she should. Like, they last a long time. You just had to feed them, like, a little
And
bit
we were
a day.
devastated when he passed away.
But rest in peace, Rhyme.
Rhyme.
But, yeah, I've always named everything.
Yes. You're
But
the
that-
namer.
Uh-huh. But that That was just so funny. When John was like, how am I supposed to know who it is? I don't know. And like he was driving too. He's like, how am I supposed to know who it is?
He doesn't always have much patience with you.
He's known me for 18 years.
His entire life. You've never existed.
Like, he hasn't existed without me, so I don't know why he's not just used to it.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're so weird, Annie. Why do you say stuff like that? Why do you act like that? Why do you do stuff like that?
Although he entertained Richard for the longest time, so.
And he's still like, oh, look, there's Richard. That cloud looks like a rabbit, like a stoned rabbit. Do you see it?
It's behind the trees for me.
It's got like 2 eyes and then its little nose and its mouth, and it's looking like this.
It's behind the tree. I can't see it.
It looks like a rabbit.
Funny.
That's like cracked out.
On crack. Something else on crack.
Yeah. Anyway, is that all you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, that's it.
Yes, it's recording.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going here on clap. You're so annoying. Stop acting like. Why are you acting like you're so awkward already? Oh goodness.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on.
Can we start over?
What do you mean? Can we start over? What are you talking about?
Let's start over.
I haven't even started. I haven't said the intro yet. We haven't started yet.
So you're going to cut all that?
Oh my goodness, this is a bloopers. What do you mean? Can we start over? What the fuck do you mean? What do you even mean? I'm crying. Why are your eyes watering?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's fixing to start
goodness.
pouring out.
Oh goodness. I feel like this is POV. I touch your face. What are you doing? You're so silly. Is your hair right how you want it? Is your lipstick
blowing.
off your teeth? Is everything how you want it to be? Are you ready? No. Blink twice if you need help. The way you looked at me made like I have a gun. The way you looked at me made it seem like I had a gun out of frame. I was pointing it at your fucking stomach. Like, you ready, bitch? And you were like,
I need a tissue.
you looked afraid for your life.
I need
You don't have any tissues. You threw them away. There's no more. You threw them away.
I used them. See, it's just not.
Oh, it's straight up. Oh, shit. This is already so much. This is so much. I said get this show on the fucking road.
It's rolling. We're rolling.
Well, okay. Settle down and I'll do the intro. Goodness. Are you chill? Are you crying? Don't look at him like that. You're scaring him. You can't look at him like that. Alright.